Old computers are awesome, but getting a 90s era PC today can be a bit expensive, if you aren't lucky enough to find one in your grandma's attic. But do you really need one? You can play about all of your DOS games in DOSBox if you want. You can even install Windows 98 in a virtual machine with VirtualBox or similar software. But it doesn't feel retro, does it? That's why today we take a look at 86box. This software will emulate real 80s and 90s hardware, so you can really experience all of the inconvenience of working with old hardware. Without the bleeding fingers though, and without bleeding your wallet.
It's the Anarchy with me on the exciting guy!
As I mentioned before the intro, 86box emulates real hardware. You can choose a specific CPU, select a motherboard, a video card, etc. They use firmware sets from the original hardware, which makes it feel like you're using real hardware. As long as the emulation speed is around 100%, the speed of the machine will be exactly like it would have been on the real thing. Packages are provided for Linux, macOS and Windows, or you can download the source code and build it yourself. For Windows, macOS and Linux, there are graphical managers which are recommended if you plan to try multiple machines with different configurations. You can just run it without a manager though, especially when you don't feel like building more than one retro PC. When you start it up, you can just click the gears icon and change the hardware like this. I will use Macbox on my old 2015 MacBook, utilizing an Intel i5 with 8GB of RAM. The first time you start it, it will complain about missing ROM images. Just click the download link in the message window to open the page where you can download them. After downloading, I didn't know where to put them. Luckily, this page tells you all you need to know. As I mentioned, I will use the Macbox Manager. I haven't tried the managers for Windows and Linux, but this is not much more than a pretty basic front-end. A nice feature though is that it comes with templates for building new machines. This way you don't have to build your own machine from scratch, but you can just pick one from the list. First, however, I'm going to try to rebuild my very first PC, which was a 386SX running at 25 MHz. I'm choosing i386SX as the machine type, this Chaintech mainboard that I think comes close to the one which used to be in our old family PC, and change the frequency to 25 MHz. Next, I choose a Trident TVGA 9000 video card, because I know for sure that's what it had. A mouse, a hard drive controller. Don't skip this step if you're building a 386. You won't be able to use a hard drive without one. Our family PC had a 40 MB hard drive. I have no idea what model or brand, so I just picked the first one. Remember the cylinders, heads and sectors, as you have to manually enter them in the system's BIOS.
Remember to partition and format the newly created drive.
Okay. I'll change the floppy drives to a 3.5-inch 1.4 MB variant and a 5.25-inch 1.2 MB variant. Again, I'm trying to rebuild my very first PC here, so I'm trying to keep it close to how I remember it. I think that's about it. Let's see if it'll boot. Ooh, let's force 4:3 ratio because this looks awful. Ah, that's better. CMOS options not set. I can say that's unexpected. I'll press F1 to enter setup and configure the hardware for this machine. I'll choose hard disk type 47 because I already know the 40 MB disk is not in the list, and manually enter the cylinders, heads and sectors of our virtual hard drive. Select the right type of floppy drives. Well, that should do it for now. Write to CMOS and exit. Yes please! Insert boot diskette in A. Woohoo! I'll go ahead and install MS-DOS 5.0, the version that came with our PC. I'll click on the floppy icon, select Existing Image and choose the image of the first DOS 5 floppy. Loading it takes a few seconds. I really wish they added floppy sounds. Wait, let's add that manually. There we go, much better. Alright, ready to install. I'll take the easy route and let DOS just allocate the whole 40 megabytes. I'm feeling generous today. Another reboot and there it goes. That went a lot faster than I remember. Not sure if the disk speed is completely accurate. Ah well, we need something to complain about, isn't it? Oh, disk 2. Click on the floppy icon again and choose the next image. I'll speed up the installation from here. So here's my fully installed MS-DOS 5.0 system on almost real 368 hardware. I've added a floppy image with the game blockout on it. Let's copy it to our hard drive. Well, the PC's creature works. I'll go ahead and add some memory and add a sound card. In this case, I'm not sure which card I got for this machine. It's been 30 years. The easiest option is to go with a Sound Blaster 16. Why is that? Because the DOS drivers for that one are on the 86box website. CMOS memory size mismatch. Damn, these old machines just notice everything. Let's just go into the BIOS setup and accept what the system detected. Oops, left my blockout diskette in the drive. Alright, now let's install the Sound Blaster 16 driver disk and install the driver.
Please remember to reboot your system.
Well, if you insist. Ugh, forgot to remove the diskette again.
Sorry.
Alright, let's try something that can utilize that sound card. Why not Wolfenstein again, right? Oh, I've got something else. Let's try stunts. Gotta love that soundtrack.
Wah! No!
Well, I guess I suck at this. Let's install Windows 3.0. Well, that works, but the Sound Blaster 16 driver doesn't seem to support Windows 3.0. So I downloaded a copy of Windows 3.1 and performed an upgrade. Woohoo! What's this mosaic thing? Well, if that's not the most awesome game you've ever seen, I don't know what is. By the way, if you wanted to look more retro, you can also apply a shader. Click on View, Renderer, and choose the OpenGL renderer. Now when you click on View again, you will get the Renderer Options menu, in which you can select a shader like this. These aren't included, so you'll have to find one that works for yourself. Now doesn't that look awesome? Let's build another one. We'll use a template this time. I'll pick a Pentium. Macbox applies a shader by default, which you can deselect if you don't care for it. Give it a name, push the Add button, and we've got ourselves another retro PC for free! As you can see, all hardware is pre-selected to represent the machine we've just selected. Let's boot it up. Another CMOS checksum error, which is expected on the first boot. I'll just enter setup, set the correct date and save the defaults. I've installed MS-DOS 6.22, which apparently I forgot to capture. Let's install Windows 98. After the installation, all hardware worked immediately, including the sound card. You will see that my old 2015 MacBook Pro struggles to keep that one around 100% when things get a bit more demanding though. For emulating Pentiums, you probably want to use a bit younger machine. My M2 MacBook has no problems with it whatsoever. I'd say any machine in between those two should do fine. I guess that's all I have for you today. I will put links to 86box and some helpful resources in the description of this video. Thanks for watching, until next time!